Hey, everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. You're into my corner, and I have a very special guest in the corner who might potentially kick my butt. Would you like to reveal your identity?
Hi, Maryke Hendrikse.
You don't have any weapons that I should be worried about, should I?
No weapons, no two hands.
Well, you do have a cat.
I do have a cat, so if you hear something strange in the background, it's her. She's very demanding, and she was meowing earlier. She just jumped up on her perch and is pretending to sleep, so we'll see how that goes.
I like how she has a perch.
Oh, yeah, she has a perch. She's the most spoiled cat on the face of the earth. My dad always says, I would like to come back in another life as your cat.
That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing, actually.
That'd be a nice life, actually. You just get to laze around all the time.
It's a nice life. She scratched me twice today.
Aww.
Yeah, nice life for her, not so much for me.
My cat's one of the type that won't let anybody else near her but me. It's like I'm mama, nobody else is mama.
Oh, that's interesting. Our cat's a little bit like that. She's less affectionate to me, but she doesn't really like anybody else. If they don't live in these four walls, she doesn't like them.
Understandable. I know that completely.
Yeah.
Well, since we've already gotten off topic, let's take the time machine back. And let's go to the beginning of when you were in diapers, perhaps. What got you inspired to become an actress?
This is a story that I actually don't remember because I was little, but I was apparently watching. There was dance on TV, I don't know whether it was a ballet performance that they were showing on, like public network channel or something, but I was apparently watching it, and I turned to my mom and said, I want to do that. And so my mom enrolled me in dance lessons. I think I was about 4 or 5 when she did that. And it's just always been a focus of my life. I've always wanted to be a performer. As long as I can remember, it's the only thing I've ever wanted to do and continues to be the only thing that I want to do with my life. So it's been a long time. That's the beginning of it, apparently.
Well, did you, were you in drama during high school or anything like that?
No, I didn't take drama formally. I wasn't in the drama club at high school. I wasn't in the school plays in high school. I did a couple of school performances when I was in 6th grade and in elementary school, but I was actually usually too busy. And the reason I was too busy is because I took lots of dance classes. I took throughout high school. I took singing lessons and I played the piano. So I was usually too busy, extracurricularly, to take part in any of the things that happened around school. And then I started acting professionally when I was still in high school, and so that sort of took me out of that kept me busy also, which didn't allow me to participate in things like drama clubs. And when I started acting professionally, I went to an alternative school for kids who were working in the arts. There was a bunch of actors that I went to the program with. There were dancers. That's actually why I was there, because I was at ballet school. And kids that swam, kids that did figure skating. Mm-hmm. And so none of us had any time we barely had time for school, let alone participating in drama clubs. So no, that's the long answer to the question of did I take it? Did I do any drama clubs in high school? No, I didn't.
Well, I think it's good because it keeps you busy as a kid. I was always in a bunch of different clubs because I got bored easy.
Yeah, I really feel like, not to sound like some kind of hooligan or something, but being interested in something and being committed to something outside of the social awfulness of high school, I was out of trouble. I wasn't in trouble. I didn't do things that the average teenager did, and not that that's always a bad thing, the things that teenagers do, but I thought having something to focus on is something that I would tell every parent that they should try and find for their child. Something that the child loves, something that the child will sacrifice stupid stuff for.
I agree with that because at the same time it also prepares them for something they can be dedicated to in the future as well.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You learn, I mean, even if if you take dancing classes or you play the piano or you're a part of a baseball team or whatever it is, even if you never do that for money in your life, I think you learn stuff from that. And those things you can always take forward into your everyday life. Whether you work you're a mechanic or you're an accountant or a teacher, you take those kinds of skills that you learn forward with you for sure.
And you can take those experiences and use them, on the set or in front of the camera or things like that.
Oh, for sure. Even though I didn't start acting till I was a teenager, because I had had so much stage experience from dancing for such a long time, I certainly knew there was a lot of etiquette things that I just knew. That's helped me in my acting career. The stuff that I learned when I was like 6 years old at dance school.
Now, I'm sort of curious. When was your first brush with anime?
Actually, I did a show. I wasn't born in Toronto, but I was raised in Toronto my whole life. I've lived in Vancouver for 6.5 years, but before that, my whole career was in Toronto. And I did a show called Metabots in Toronto. That was
I remember watching that when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess it was fairly popular, I think. I'm not really sure, but because I didn't know anything about anime then. It was the first time I'd been into the studio. I think it was the first time I'd been to the studio, or at least one of the first times I'd been to the studio working with the beeps and working with picture. Everything else I'd done in terms of animation had been prelay, right? Where you put the voice down first and then they animate you afterwards. So this was a completely new experience for me.
And you had dance experience, so I'm assuming that the rhythm that you gather from dance helped you match the beats.
That's interesting. I've never thought about that. Maybe.
Well, I hear often that musicians have a better time at, working with the beats, but I would assume the same thing would work with dance.
I think so, because you certainly have to dance in time to the music.
Yeah, I think a sense of rhythm is something not everybody has, so I would think it helps.
That's true. That's very true.
And I'm pretty sure that show was popular because I saw it on Fox. When Fox was airing all of the anime, Fox Kids in the morning.
Oh, okay, cool.
I can't believe I remember that though.
Yeah, sometimes I'm amazed at the stuff that I remember from my childhood, but anyway.
So now that you were introduced to anime, did you think that you would continue getting roles in that sort of genre, or was it just sort of pursuing your acting career?
It wasn't like I didn't focus on it in particular. It was just sort of part of what you do, like you said, focusing on your acting career, like your agent calling you with a particular audition and you usually choosing to go and do the audition. I don't think I very rarely turned down an audition in my life, but yeah, it was just sort of part of the natural flow of my career. And then when I moved to Vancouver, it certainly has been a big part of my work here in Vancouver. The studio, there's a fairly large studio that has done quite a bit of anime, as you probably know, in the past. And so it just was something that was a bigger part of my career here in Vancouver, for sure.
Yeah, anime has definitely sort of found its points in Vancouver, Dallas, and sometimes California.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I met some at one convention I went to. I did meet a couple of people from Texas. Where'd you say, was it Dallas? Is that right?
I believe Funimation is located in Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. Anyways, so that's I did meet a bunch of people from there, and I didn't realize that there was such a big group of people there down in Dallas. So yeah, it's cool.
I know California is real into video games for the most part.
Yeah, they do a lot of video games down there. I guess it's like Silicon Valley. Is that the?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if that has anything to do with I probably just said something so stupid. Silicon Valley?
I'm sure that's actually probably right. I mean, you find all media in California.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But now I'll be probably spiked to death if I don't ask you about a character that has guns, curses a lot, and hits people.
Yeah, it will be one of my favorite characters ever that I've played. So Ask away.
Could you tell me a little bit about how that role fell into your lap?
Yeah, actually, it's in large part due to James Corrigal, the director. I was on the list to audition for Roberta. And so when the auditions came along, I went in and I had my sides for Roberta and whatever. And James said to me, "Would you like to audition for this other character I have you in mind for?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. Thanks." He gave me the script, and I looked through it like standing at the microphone, just read through it once, and I was like, "Okay, let's do this." And so we went through it, and they did not have me in mind for the role of Revy. They did not have me on the list to audition for it. James just said, "I think that you could do this," and I said, "Okay, sure," and put me on the list of his selects to go to the client, and they picked me. So that's how it was. It's really thanks to him, honestly, that I got this part for sure.
And now she's sort of a mean character, I guess is what I can say. Is that fun to get that aggression out?
Oh yeah, it's fun. The aggression, I mean, getting it out, that aggression doesn't come from me. Even though I certainly could be like that in real life if I had to, I suppose, but the aggression really comes from her and from my belief in where she comes from. So it's interesting because somebody else asked me this question once before about how is it really fun to get out all your emotions from this particular character. So if like you're having a really bad day, it's great to go in and act like a jerk or scream and yell. And actually I don't think that serves the character from my perspective. Other people may, work differently, and that's absolutely fair enough and valuable for them. But I really approach it from who she is and not about my day or about my own emotions. Does that make any sense?
That does, actually. It's sort of, I suppose, subtracts yourself from the experience, but you're inputting a different persona out.
Yeah, it's sort of like, it's not about me. My real life is about me. My work is about what story is being told and who in that moment is telling it. And so that really doesn't have anything to do with me.
That's actually a really cool way to look at it. I never hear it really described like that, so I think a lot of people will enjoy hearing that.
Cool. Okay, good. I'm glad. I mean, it's a bit curious because it made the person that asked me that question first kind of a little taken aback. Like, I don't think they knew how to respond. And, yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes like when you're playing somebody like a character like Revy. I've actually done a lot of theater as well. And when you're playing a character who is a bit dangerous, who is a bit, off the wall, who's not very healthy, in some aspects of their character, I don't think that's good for me as an actor. To say this is all me and to take that on. So,
well, also, I don't think you attack people.
No, I don't.
Either.
No, I don't attack people. Sometimes I get mad at people when they wear their backpacks in the subway or bus, but I don't attack them.
Exactly. So I have to wonder, based off of that, because I know she curses a lot.
Yep.
Is it difficult to make a curse seem natural, angrily? I know that sounds like a weird question, but sometimes in, for example, video games and anime, you can hear somebody just put a curse in a line, and it doesn't sound right. It just sounds like they're cursing for the sake of cursing.
Yeah. My first thought about about your question is how well the Black Lagoon script was written.
Mm-hmm.
It was so easy to say the lines that I was given to say because they were written so beautifully as far as I'm concerned, even though we were talking about ridiculous curse words every 2 seconds. It was written so well that those kinds of things just flowed off my tongue. I know what you mean about people sometimes sounding, this is my second part of my answer to your question, sometimes it sounds like people are a bit awkward or And that is because they, as a person, wouldn't speak like that. And that's where you have to remove yourself from what you're doing. It's about Revi, that's how she talks. That is her. That is who she is. It doesn't matter whether that's who I am in my real life, whether I talk like that or not. I actually do flavor my sentences in real life with a few of those words. I am not a non-swearer. I swear a reasonable amount. But you know, if you're trying to be Revi, then you're, I don't know, this sounds very probably cheesy, but if you're trying to be her, then you are embracing how she speaks. And if the script is well written and you are embracing who she is, things should roll off your tongue as if they're rolling off her tongue.
I really respect that answer quite a bit, because I never get the chance to ask that, because not many characters in anime curse that much.
No, she's pretty unique.
And she's definitely got some Western influence in her as well.
She does, because even in the Japanese, you know, the original version, she speaks English in a couple of the different scenes, and she, I mean, you probably know this, I'm probably not telling you or a lot of the people who are listening anything new that they don't know, but she is an American. She's a Chinese American. So she grew up in the United States. That's the character itself.
And that must make it easier, instead of not to fall into stereotypes, but say submissive Japanese maid.
But yeah, well, she's definitely not that. That's for sure.
And now, have you been surprised at the fandom for that specific character?
No, to be honest. Not because I think, oh, you know, I'm so awesome, everyone should love everything I do. That's got nothing to do with what I'm saying, but I just think that she's so amazing. Me or not me. It could have been, you know, anybody who played it, I think would have had the same kind of reaction to her, because she's unusual. She's unusual. She's not, like you said, your submissive kind of character. And I felt that she had a lot of layers. I felt that she wasn't just an angry, awful murderer. I thought that angry awfulness came from somewhere, and I was determined to put that into how I played her. So yeah, I think that she's a really cool character. So it doesn't surprise me that people like her.
Well, writing definitely seems like it's getting more mature. I know Madhouse Studios, the people who make it, they've been actually working more with Western studios. Like they're coming out with like an X-Men anime and a Wolverine anime, an Iron Man anime, and so possibly, you know, this sort of influence might have helped them on future projects.
Maybe. That'd be cool.
That would be. And hey, maybe you can one day be in an X-Men anime. That would be cool.
Maybe. That'd be awesome.
Comic book nerds unite. But I think with that, we're going to take a very short break here on 91.8 The Fan. But don't go anywhere, because if you do, you'll miss this awesome guest and this awesome interview. So make sure to keep it tuned to your favorite station, where we play everything you want and nothing you don't.
So you guys should like totally check out my radio station. It's like over 9,000, and it has cheeseburgers and all your base will belong to us. It's the best thing.
Wrong! Are you tired of epic fail when it comes to memes? At 91.8 The Fan, we got you covered. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Well, at least I have chicken.
Hey, everybody out there! Did you go anywhere? If you went to get popcorn, you better come back. Did you come back? Okay. Anyway, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. I still have my special guest here, and she gave us a giggle of life, so we know she's still here.
I'm here.
And we were kind of talking a little bit behind the scenes about any projects that you recently came out that you can talk about and pimp to the fans.
There's a couple of things that I can't talk about, and you guys know that whole thing. But I can tell you that season 5 of Johnny Test, which is a show that I do, I play Susan Test. It just started airing, I think, in the last like month or so in the U.S. And new episodes start airing in Canada, I think in the fall, in September, something like that. It's either August or September. So that's the one thing I can tell you about. Season 5 of Johnny Test.
Now, I know that's one of the sisters, correct? Which one is it? Because I don't have TV. So.
Oh, you don't? That's funny. She is the obnoxious one. She's the one with the straight long hair and not the cool ponytail and the jeans.
Okay.
She's the one with straight long hair, square glasses, a black skirt, and little Mary Jane shoes with white socks. Her sister, Mary, her twin, wears like cute jeans and, like I said, a cute ponytail. And, she wears little Converse, like little kind of Converse type shoes.
I was actually just in California for a convention for about a week, and when we were watching TV, there's all these like cartoons on Cartoon Network where you're like, oh, this looks horrible. But anytime Johnny Test came on, we were like, okay, this clears the test. This is a good cartoon. So it was kind of fun to see little bits and pieces of it.
Oh, that's nice because, you never know what people think of it. I mean, I know it's really popular or else we wouldn't be doing, 5 seasons. It is pretty, little kids love it. But that's good to know, like, that you looked at it and was like, oh, this doesn't look too bad. Cool. I love it. It's actually my favorite. Besides Revy, Revy and Susan are my favorite characters. I love them.
Well, I know it sort of has a nostalgia kick for me because it reminds me of Dexter's Laboratory a little bit.
Yep.
Just kind of like an opposite there.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons that the cartoon's really popular is because it does have that bit of flavor, and it's crazy. Like, it's like, toilet humor for little kids, so nothing particularly offensive, really funny characters. The plots are very fast-moving, things blow up, there's all sorts of weird inventions that the girls come up with and that Johnny tests. And I think that just appeals. It's very, very fast moving. So that's why I think it works.
And the villains are kind of quirky.
The villains are totally quirky. Like, one of them's a cat.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, his name's Mr. Mittens.
I keep seeing the kid who wants to get with one of the sisters and has sort of a lisp.
Yeah, he wants to get with my character, Susan. His name is Bling Bling Boy. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, all those kinds of characters are so funny. And I think that kids think they're hilarious, and I think that maybe even older people who watch it might get a bit of a kick out of how silly they are and stuff. So, yeah, it's a good show. I like it. I really like it. Very grateful for the work that I've had on it, that's for sure.
And now, for the fans out there who want to, keep up to date with what you're doing, do you have a Facebook or Twitter or website? Do you have anything like that where they can stalk you in a nice way?
No, I don't have any of that. My agent has always said that we all need to get our own, our own websites. Mm-hmm. And I know I should because, it can't hurt, right? I mean, it's not a bad thing to have that, but it vaguely embarrasses me. Attention embarrasses me. And so to think of like me, I'm a bit of a computer idiot. So something like Twitter or whatever. I don't have like a smartphone. I have a stupid phone that rings, and that's about all. I don't have an iPhone or a BlackBerry, and so that kind of puts me out of the running for something like a Twitter account. But I honestly sometimes, and I know, like I'm actually sitting at my table with my head in my hands talking to you about this right now. Because I don't understand why anybody would want to know via Twitter what I was doing, thinking, or saying. I literally am like, why would anybody care? So that's why I don't have any of that stuff. It just vaguely embarrasses me.
I can understand that to a degree. I mean, like, with Facebook, I don't want people to be poking me. People always like weird posts. Like, I remember I posted a post about, oh, I have a blister and it really hurts because I walked all day at a convention or something. And somebody was like, one of my fans on the station liked it. And I was like, why would you like something like that? It hurts.
Yeah, it's awkward. It's awkward because does like mean, yes, go blister, go, killer? Or does like mean, oh, wow, I sympathize with you. I'm going to give you a thumbs up just for some support. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, anyways. I have a Facebook account, but I never use it. I, check in, once every Blue Moon, and it's generally, my friends are on it, like my friends and their kids, and they'll call me and say, would you look at your Facebook page? Because there's new pictures of so-and-so. Anyways, but no, I'm not a participant. I'm not a participant in that kind of stuff. Maybe one day, but not at the moment.
Well, maybe in the future. Or you could just let us know and we'll let the fans know.
That's cool. I don't mind that so much.
Because they don't have to go through you. They just have to bug us. Now, is there any place perhaps they can meet you in real life? Like, do you have any conventions coming up or conventions that you go to maybe for fun?
No, I never get invited to conventions. I've only been invited to two conventions in my life. The one that happens in Vancouver, every summer. I think it's in August. I forget. And then I got invited to one, I think it was in Oakville, Ontario, but here you go. The person tried to contact me on Facebook, and it was like I hadn't checked my Facebook in months. And so by the time I got back to them to say, what are your dates? And maybe I could, swing it with my work schedule or whatever. It was too late. So no, I don't go to conventions. I don't get asked.
It's funny. I've seen so much of the convention circuit. It's kind of sad because a lot of conventions just go for the popular guys. No offense to you popular guys out there. I'm looking at you, Kyle. You're at like every convention. But I wish conventions would like explore other options so you guys got more of a chance to go.
Well, it would be. You could certainly hear other people's perspectives on, either the way they work or the city that they work in. That might be interesting, but sometimes it's more interesting to hear what the everyday actor is doing. It's not always the people who are like super famous, and I'm talking about movie stars. I'm not necessarily talking about people who work in animation or anime. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's more interesting to hear from like somebody who just works as an actor, not necessarily somebody who is got millions of dollars and their life seems to be so exciting. Sometimes it's interesting to hear another person's perspective, somebody who just is sort of in the trenches working away. Well,
because it's also relatability too. I can't really relate to Brad Pitt so much as I could relate to, you or another voice actress.
Maybe so. Although Brad Pitt's cute. I'm still like, I know everybody thinks I'm nuts, but I think he's cute. Anyways, whatever.
Well, my mom all the time, whenever she sees him on TV, it's always, your brother looked better than Brad Pitt, and then he got married, like every single time.
She says that?
She says it every single time, yes.
Oh my god, that is so funny! And then he got married. Your poor sister-in-law.
Well, they're actually possibly might be going through a divorce. We don't know yet, but...
Well, here we go now, everybody. Listen to the personal stuff.
Oh, no, it's not that big of a deal. They have, like, the papers signed, and they're waiting to send them off, but they haven't yet. Well, it happens. I mean, either way, they have they have three. I have 3 nieces, not 2. 3 beautiful children, so,
That's good. That something nice happened there.
Yeah, definitely. And they started a business together, and I'm sure they'll keep working on the business. It just happens.
Yep, it happens. That's for sure.
But my mom will still say that he used to look better than Brad Pitt.
My God, that is pretty funny.
My mom says some hilarious things.
Sounds like she probably does. That's a pretty funny thing.
She's a little bit more, she's inept at technology, a little bit more, quite a lot more than you, actually, so.
Oh, really? Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, she has trouble still, like, checking her voicemail after 5 years or turning on her computer, so.
Okay, I'm nowhere near that bad.
Me and the staff, sometimes we have a little bit of fun hearing her conversations when she tries to troubleshoot with me.
Oh my God, that's pretty funny. Voicemail's pretty simple.
Yeah, you never know.
Yep, that's true.
Either way, since we got into a little bit off track, we can go back in time again. Doodly doodly doo, doodly doodly doo. Taking that from E3. Thank you very much for that meme, Ubisoft. It was actually funny. I guess I should explain it. Are you aware of what E3 is?
I feel like I should be, but I'm not sure. It's something familiar, but I don't know what I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head.
It's a big trade show in California, and
I do know what this is because my husband actually works in video games. So I knew
okay.
I heard it. I knew I heard it somewhere. It's okay. Go ahead.
Well, we always cover E3 every year, and Ubisoft had this hilarious announcer who kept going back in time and waving his arms and going, doodly-doo. So if you look doodly-doo up on the internet now, it's sort of a meme, sort of has some sort of cult following. You find remixes of this guy going, doodly-doo, doodly-doo, to go back in time. It's so silly.
Oh, that is so funny.
It's so silly. So I've been borrowing inspiration from him today.
Nice. Actually, you know what? Going back in time, you know how you were saying, I'm not going to do the doodly-doo thing, but you can. But you know how you were asking me about shows that are happening? I actually just, on my laptop, my background, my wallpaper on my laptop is actually from a show that I did that's airing in the States right now. It's called Maryke Hendrikse, and it's so cute. It's like the cutest show I've ever done in my life.
Well, could you explain why it's so cute?
Because the characters are completely adorable. The whole premise of the show is it's for preschoolers, so maybe not a lot of audience members in the group of people that are listening, but it's like they live in a land called now I can't remember what it's called. Nozamu. They live in this land called Nozamu, and what they do is they prepare wishes to be granted. So there's these little tiny little wishes that get born, and the little gang of people who are not really people, they're little creatures, and they're called Yummy. They babysit and take care of these wishes until they're old enough to be granted. And it is seriously the cutest thing ever. And they get into all kinds of like scrapes and craziness and things happen. And it's so cute. It is so cute. And the characters are hilarious and they all have fun names.
That sounds cute. I'm going to have to look that up and see what that's about. I feel bad. I didn't find that in my stalking of you on the internet.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's so cute. I play Uka, just so you know.
It sounds really familiar, too. I feel like I might have seen it somewhere, and I'm like, oh, gosh.
Well, the characters are very anime kind of looking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe no, they're not. No, I didn't just say that. Forget it. Nothing.
Undo. Back in time, one of those.
Magic doodly-doo thing.
Doodly-doo.
Anyway, sorry, go on with what you're going to say.
I was just going to say, since we are nearing the end of the interview, sad face, would you be willing to participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Well, we do this live on air, so hopefully you don't get to stage fright, but I think we went through that.
See how brave I am?
But we ask if you'd be willing to do a radio bump for us.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. All we ask if you'd be willing to say, hello, my name is, you insert your name. I do this, you can insert characters or that you're a voice actress or whatever you want to put there. And the important part is, and you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
And you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So whenever you're ready.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody. I'm Maryke Hendrikse. I'm a voice actor. You can see me on shows like Black Lagoon, I play Revy. Johnny Test, I play Susan Test. Or Maryke Hendrikse, I play Uka. You're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
That wasn't so hard.
Is that okay?
Yes, that was fine.
I had to write it down.
That's common. That's okay.
I had to write it, and you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
It's those dang numbers. They always trip people up.
Yep.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell the fans out there?
Thank you for, watching and supporting what I do and what the people that I work with do. And we wouldn't be able to do what we loved if nobody watched it. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And I'm probably speaking for most other performers when I say the same, from Brad Pitt all the way down to me. I'm going to get sued now for mentioning his name in an interview.
I think you'll be okay. We'll hide it from him. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll say, do not open Brad Pitt. But thank you so much for this. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it, too. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
And for anybody out there that missed any of this interview, shame on you. But stay tuned to our website, 918thefan.com. We'll have the interview posted within the next three or 4 days. Yeah. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled. Don't go anywhere. Keep it tuned to your favorite station, 91.8 The Fan. Everything you want and nothing you don't.
Bye.